خافت الشمس بن شعلاني
So the situation in Palestine is very crucial, and it's going from bad to worse every day by the Israeli occupation, because they are doing all of their best to reduce our opportunity to live there. When we are talking about Gaza Strip, it is completely isolated, and all the gates that are open is under the hands of the Israelis, and after the political changes in Egypt, also the borders with Egypt was closed. So there is a big bad situation in Gaza, and it is going bad. Before 4 years, for example, the UN declared that after 10 years Gaza Strip won't be a suitable place to live. But we believe that it will be like that before if this siege continued like that on our people to Gaza. When we're talking also about Jerusalem, Jerusalem is completely isolated from the other people of Palestine. We can't enter Jerusalem if we don't have Jerusalem ID. So many families, for example, a woman from Ramallah, if she is married to a man from Jerusalem, she can't go and live with him there. So many families are separated. There is a complete process of Judaization of Jerusalem. So they are evacuating it from its Arabic Palestinian people, and they are concentrating in expanding the settlements there. Added to that, the isolation apartheid wall, which is completely done. It is completely isolate all the West Bank, with gaining more lands and more lands for the areas that they control completely. So this isolation apartheid wall make our places are small isolated places for Palestinian people. So it is a kind of apartheid system similar than what has happened in South Africa. And even it is more than that. Desmond Tutu, the famous struggler, when he visited Palestine before 5 or 6 years, he declared that the apartheid system which is going in Palestine is worse than the apartheid system which was going on in South Africa. This is on the ground. Also, they are trying to take more and more lands from the borders between Palestine and Jordan. So they are working to build a new wall between Palestine and Jordan. That means a big challenge for us, and many big confiscating of lands of our people. We have nowadays 5,000 Palestinian prisoners in Israeli jails, and every day we have new arrests, and some of them under administrative detention. Some of them are youth under 18 years. About 200 detainees are under 18 years, and 15 women are in Israeli jails nowadays. They don't stop arresting, they don't stop invading, they don't stop replacement for our people, not only in Jerusalem, but even in the areas called C, which are in their control. And also, they are still settling in the middle of Hebron city. So our people there are under individual isolation. You find some houses are isolated alone Some families are isolated alone by settlements. So the situation is very bad. The occupation is still neglecting any real rights for our people, and they are using the ongoing political process to gain more and more time to change realities on the ground.
What do you think is the role of Europe in the perpetuation of Israeli occupation in Palestine?
You know, the whole West countries are supporting Israel, and we know that. There are some differences, but there are little differences. For the European countries, they say yes, they are against settlements, and these days they declare that they are going to boycott the settlement products, but that is not enough. Because if they are committed to their declarations towards human rights, towards the freedom, they have to say the Israeli occupation is illegal and it must end it. And they have to get more and more pressure to submit and implement the international resolution towards our cause. Because from the beginning, the UN have many tens of the resolutions saying that the occupation is illegal, the Palestinians have the right for self-determination, the Palestinians have the right to retain, but nothing is done. And nowadays we are talking about 7 million refugees in the diaspora, and you know what is going on in Syria and the new phase of being a refugee for our people from Syria. About 6,100 there are displaced. Either they left Syria or they left the Palestinian camps to another area in Syria itself. So our cause is a historical cause, and it needs a real international will to give our rights, and a real political honest alliance for our people. This ongoing peace process or political process, I don't say peace because from the beginning it is not going to bring real peace, because it depends on different political levels. It is used to oblige our leadership to go down with their political demands from the beginning, and you have to be under a hard economical accord you signed in Paris, but in the same time the occupation is not asked to do anything. So it is not going to bring peace. It is going to be used from the occupation to work and more to create more realities on the ground that make the peace very hard. The only acceptable peace process could be for our people is a real peace process with the international law and resolutions as a reference, and with the UN as a leader, not the USA as a leader. And if the UN take the leadership under this regulation, it could be.
What about the Arab countries? What kind of analysis you would like to share about the role of the Arab countries in the political process on the Palestinian struggle?
Some of the Arab regimes try to get pressure on our leadership many times, because some of them really they are related or committed to the Western role in the area. Our Arabic people, we believe in their support. All the Arabic peoples support us, but sometimes they don't have the means to give the support. Every time that Palestine is under crisis, we see the Palestinian, the Arabic risings in all the Arabic countries, because there is an organic relation between us and them. We are Arabs. We are Arabs, Palestinians. And we think that it will come a day that our Arab people can help in solving their problems in their countries and also in support us more and more.
How does the current situation, the occupation of Israel in Palestine, affect particularly women?
You know, when we are talking about women and the struggle, women from the beginning, they participated in resisting the struggle in many means, from participating in the political factions and parties, from participating in demonstrations, from organizing their life and their people's life through organizations and communities and etc. So the entire life of a Palestinian woman is considered a kind of struggle, because as she is part of this society, she has her roles and she is active in them, but also she is part of this defense of our rights, the people. We defend, as women, we defend our identity in raising our children. We defend our social rights in calling for equality. We defend our economical rights in trying to help to gain money from rich people to help poor people. Women have a big role in their life, especially when they are leading the family alone, when the husband is in jail or he is injured, or also some women have went to jail while their husbands in the jail in the same time. Some of them, they have 4 children, 4 sons or a son and daughter in the jail. Sufferness of Palestinian women from the occupation is very big. Also, women who have their lands in the villages and the lands are grabbed. Women who go to pick their olives and the settlers don't let them go there. Women who used to use water for their daily life, but the Israelis, they are reducing the amount of money, water that we use. So some of them have to do many hard work to bring water to the houses in some villages. Some of them, you know, for example, I know a friend, she keeps herself awake all of the night, so she is waiting to the water coming with a few amounts, so she can gather them and she, and the next day can do the hygiene work in her house. This is the life of Palestinian women. And imagine also the life of Palestinian women in refugee camps in Lebanon or in Syria these days. It's a very bad situation, but we are strong.
Could you please tell us about the objectives and mission of the Union of Palestinian Women Committees?
The Union of Palestinian Women Committee is a mass-based organization. It was established in 1980 to work within Palestine in the occupied area in 1967. And it was an organization from leftist perspective, which really joined the main two lines of the Palestinian women's struggle, the national struggle and the social struggle. And from the beginning, as the initiators, who were young women, leftist women, tried to address the whole needs of the Palestinian woman and to create a new initiative in the Palestinian society. So we began to go to villages, to camps in the cities, in the universities, talking to other women, work with them, and initiate committees, local committees, who are working in daily basis in awareness, for raising awareness for us and for the people, trying to make economical empowerment for ourselves and for the other women, and to activate ourselves. These are the main work of us, but also we can say that we started to give services, especially for poor kids and women, because we believe that giving these services that raises the areas and the opportunities for our women to find the time for themselves and for general participation. For example, when we established the kindergartens, it was used for women that they can go to universities or go to jobs or even participate in general activities. And we are in a coalition with other women organizations. We are part of the General Union of Palestinian Women. We are part of the Women Technical Affairs Committee. We have good relations with different women organizations in Palestine. For us as Palestinian women, we have a political position from the beginning. We are in the opposition of this political process, and it is known and it is declared from the beginning. But also we have to work for the women demands. So we have some work according to the programs that presented from the Palestinian Authority. For example, we participate in the national campaign against violence against women, and the Women's Affairs Ministry is leading it. Mm-hmm. So in this issue, we are part. We can be part. We are in general work. So sometimes we have meetings with the government, with different ministries, to discuss and to advocate our work. And we are part in a big coalition. We are not the only people who are working for these things. And of course, in the other side, we are against the punishment of the people who are in opposition, and especially after the internal division between Fatah and Hamas. People are punished either from the Palestinian Authority in West Bank or from Hamas leadership in Gaza if they try to say their opinions or to go to demonstrations. We are defenders for human rights, and the first human right that we defend is that the person can present his or her idea.
نسوان تحكي ولف تفهم